As a pastor for many years, I committed what I call pastoral malpractice because I had a great Sunday to Monday gap in my thinking. And this profoundly impoverished my life, my vocation, impoverished my congregation. And Made to Flourish is deeply committed as a mission to help you narrow the Sunday to Monday gap in your own life and in your local church congregation. And I want to suggest there are 5 major things that are really at stake if we do not connect Sunday to Monday well. The first one is the rightful worship of God. It is amazing to me that many people think of worship as what they do on Sunday rather than what they do on Monday. And can you imagine if we understood and our congregations understood that the primary place of worship is not Sunday, but their workplace on Monday, how transformational that would be, not only for our congregation, but for God, because God deserves worship all the time. So the rightful worship of God is at stake here if we do not have a narrowing of our Sunday to Monday gap. The second thing that's at stake is the spiritual formation of God's people. All of us care deeply about the spiritual wholeness of our congregation and people growing in Christ-likeness. And when Jesus invites us into the yoke of apprenticeship, he invites us into a whole life discipleship, a primary place where we are formed in the Christ-likeness, where we walk in the power of the Spirit as we work in the Spirit. And we do that in our workplace. Our workplace is a primary place where we are formed in the Christ-likeness. The third area that's at stake is the plausibility of the gospel. In our cultural context, many people have a very different worldview that we work with. Many people have no idea of the gospel, and it seems nonsensical to them. The gospel often needs to be seen before it's heard. And in the workplace is where we often encounter many, many people who have no idea what it means to know Christ or understand the gospel. The gospel is seen as we live it out in the workplace. Jesus said that we are salt and light in our workplace. And when we are salt and light, Jesus says people see our deeds, they see our good work, and they glorify God in heaven. So the plausibility of the gospel is at stake if we do not close the Sunday to Monday gap. But also the fourth thing is the proclamation of the gospel. Most people's mission field, their primary mission field of gospel proclamation is with their colleagues they work with every day. The gospel is transforming, but it not only needs to be seen, it has to be heard. We have to proclaim it. And so we want to equip our congregations and our people to proclaim the gospel in a winsome way in their workplace that is profoundly transformational. The fifth thing is the common good. Jesus cares about the common good. He called us to love our neighbor, right, as the great commandment, to love our neighbor. But how do we do that? Well, a primary way we do that is in and through the work we do every day in our broader economy. And so our Made to Flourish focus is not just faith and work, it's also helping us understand the connection of faith, work, and economics. Because we love our neighbor in and through our work, not only in our Christian compassion and our behavior, but also expanding economic capacity.